This week we talk with Liam and Eric, but you probably know them as the Bat Boys. Their interviews with MLB players have been seen by people all over the world. We got to talk to them about how they started, how they grew their channel, and their best advice for us. Can't wait for you guys to see this week's episode of Brolletts.
Guys, before we jump into today's episode, I got to tell you about our new sponsor. It is Stinger Sports. Guys, I got to tell you what I love about these guys. So first, I met Brandon, the founder of Stinger, through a mutual friend. We had him on the podcast, one of my favorite episodes. Make sure that you go and check it out. But we've developed not only a bit of a friendship, but now a partnership where we want to introduce everyone on the world to Stinger Sports because they make incredible athletic gear at an affordable price. And this is what I really love because if you're a parent, you know how expensive gear is getting, how expensive uniforms are getting. And these guys make affordable stuff that is pro level quality. Right now, Colt is using one of their gloves. I mean, this thing is sick. Look how customized that is. And he's using this in 13U baseball right now, which is amazing. And then we also brought them on as a uniform sponsor. Look at these custom Stinger Sports Brolett jerseys. How cool are these? And the best thing, they're not just for baseball. So baseball, soccer, volleyball, whatever that you need, they can equip you. But on the baseball side specifically, what I love is they will equip you with fully customizable jerseys, but also the pants, the hats. They will also get you the ancillary stuff like batting gloves or team backpacks or anything that you need. And they have packages that make it affordable for any family. Guys, you got to check out Stinger Sports. I will put the link in the description. Check these guys out. Make sure you tell them that the Brolett sent you. And please, please, please support our sponsors here. Check out what they're doing. Big fans of Stinger Sports. Now, let's jump into this week's episode.
What's more stressful, coaching Pottstown in a close championship game or interviewing someone like Shohei Ohtani or Manny Machado?
That's a good question. You're coming out with he here at the start. Because there was a lot of pressure. I was just editing the Pottstown video and going into that game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hype around it. But honestly, I think probably interviewing Shohei, there are still players to this day that like walk past us and we're just starstruck by. Yeah. There are times where like interviews just like have us freezing up.
And because there's security guards around, there's media people who work with the team around, other players, there's a bunch going on all at once.
A lot of variables
around the big stars. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be like chaotic too, because even just like time, right? Like you probably only have like, all right, you got 2 minutes with this guy, or like he's got to be here. Like, so there's other constraints that add to the pressure.
Yeah. Like the one time Eric got to ask Skeens for an interview, he was just being like walked from one place to another and just like was like, sorry, I have no time right now.
Yeah. You know, I'm pretty tight schedule.
From Pirates media guy was like, he's got to go. He's got to go. He's got somewhere to be.
Hey, got to shoot your shot, though. Got to shoot your shot.
It looks like this whole thing started back in 2020 when you guys were trying to play high school ball during COVID. Take us back to how this whole content thing started.
I made one video the week that COVID took away our senior season of baseball. I made it with a friend who was playing D3 ball. And then we kind of quit that for a month. But then Eric had the idea one night to start a YouTube channel with me, and we took over that channel and then made it like all things baseball related, and we just had all the time in the world back during COVID.
I think all of us just had a lot of free time on our hands, and we were just like filming anything we did. We wanted to film like going to games, but obviously no one was allowed because of the pandemic, so we're doing trick shots, anything we could, picking up a bat in our hands.
Stereotypes.
Yeah, the first video we filmed was just like touring a minor league stadium that we went to growing up, and they were having like a big blowout sale. So literally anything that was going on, we were just filming it baseball wise. And I just texted Liam. I was like, dude, I wish, we still talk about it today. Like, oh, I wish we filmed like a lot of stuff when we were younger. And now we're just like, it'll be nice to have something to look back on for our baseball memories.
I mean, 5 years ago, there wasn't that much baseball content, definitely not like baseball lifestyle content like you guys create now. Was there any inspiration, or were you just like, dude, like there's literally nothing to do, let's just go film some baseball stuff?
Yeah, there was inspiration like with the people who were already doing it, but then we also felt that like there was still a wide gap for like more creators to get in there and like promote baseball in any way possible. But I remember we used to love Zach Hampel. I know he gets there's some controversial views.
He stole a ball from Hampel at the Rays game a couple weeks ago.
Hey, let's get it. Just the whole concept of like showing up early and making the most out of your ticket. We were all into that. I remember I watched Steven Kinez, because I was trying to play college baseball.
Dodger films. I was going to say Bobby Crosby. Yeah, we just loved all the videos that were like at a baseball stadium and like made us feel like we were at the game and could be at these places we had never traveled to before. And yeah, like Liam said, kind of recognized, like, we saw that there were like niche fan pages or like those people like, oh, Bobby Crosby is with Dodger Films, and like certain people would show up to certain games, be like micro celebrity fans. And we saw them, we're like, we want to find a way to, you know, connect all the fans and all the players across the league and share all these great stories.
Tell us about some of your early videos of some of the ones that got you started, like rappers trying to play baseball, prank calling an MLB team, and chirping minor league play.
Those are all so many classics, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember prank calling MLB teams really well. That was the one that we like lined up all of these videos and we filmed them in the summer before we left for our freshman year of college. And we were like kind of nervous about it. We never wanted to do anything that would be, you know, like disrespectful or step on the toes of teams. But, you know, we tried to keep it all lighthearted. But we literally just looked up, you know, like phone numbers, the 1-800 numbers for teams. And
yeah, but and it wasn't really prank calling. Like I remember specifically, I was like, what's Pete Alonso's workout routine? Like we called the Mets and asked for that.
Just asked for some workouts and some tryout opportunities, I think.
Yeah, tryout opportunities.
Yeah, but I mean, chirping minor leaguers, that was just like trip Liam was on with his friends. And that was a lot of what it was at the start. Like anytime we were at a game with our friends, or like we weren't even together. I remember like you were up at Cape Cod. There wasn't even a game going on because of COVID, but like you still filmed being out at the fields and stuff. But man.
Yeah. I mean, it was all just us trying to be creative with showing a different side of baseball. Look, with the chirping minor leaguers, it wasn't about like chirping minor leaguers really. It's just like getting close, experiencing all that a minor league game has to offer. Yeah, and like we were just trying to think of unique ways to show how fun baseball can be.
It's got to like bring back such great memories too. Cause like, I'm assuming like, again, 5 years ago, you guys are what, 18, 19 years old. So like you're literally kids going to, you know, baseball games, having a good time, prank calling. The stakes were a whole lot less back then. You know, it's not like you had a couple 100,000 followers back then. So you could get away with trying things. I mean, it's got to be like freeing just to be like, you know what, like, here's an idea. Let's run with it. It's got to be like a special time as you guys like think back to those early beginnings.
Yeah, and it like wasn't even fueled by views or followers. I mean, we've always tried to stay true to that. But it was literally just us enjoying baseball.
At what point do you guys think that content could actually be something that you guys actually do?
That's a good question. I mean, a couple of teams reached out to us during our sophomore years at school. Like, is the off season? I guess this is
2022.
Yeah, right before 2022. And we went down to Salem and like filmed some stuff at the stadium there. And that's kind of when I recognized like this could be something. I worked an internship with an independent league team that summer too, and like did some content creation for them. But I think I kind of saw it then too as like maybe like a freelance thing, or like, oh, we'd come in and like work with certain teams and stuff. But I never saw it taking off the way that it has.
Yeah, I think when we got MLB credentials, those just are so legitimate and are so sick. That, I mean, and that just made me realize like the possibilities are endless. Like our first MLB game ever, we interviewed Dansby Swanson, Austin Riley, Victor Robles, and that was just like, wow, the sky's the limit now.
Do you remember the first player you guys interviewed? How did that go down?
Richie Palacios was one of them.
Yeah, I think that was
first in 2021 when he was in Double-A. Yeah, and before that it was John Romero and Diego Moreno.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that happened on the podcast.
It was we run as fans in 2021 to a Harrisburg Senators versus Akron Rubber Ducks game.
Yeah.
And and we just showed up super early and there weren't a lot of people there, so we were like, yeah, we should try to interview the guys while they're signing autographs. Because there weren't a lot of people around, and yeah, we got there and like two relief pitchers were getting just concession food. This is like 4 o'clock for a 6 o'clock game, and I asked them if they wanted to do an interview. And yeah,
they went with it.
Asked them their favorite singer, and it started a fun conversation. And then, yeah, that's kind of how we did it in 2021 with going to the minor league games, and then along the baselines, we'd ask for interviews during warm-ups.
You guys did a ton of interviews with minor league players. We kind of interviewed them from the stands. How did that go? And what are some of your favorite memories doing those interviews?
Yeah, like you guys know, like the access in the minor leagues is, you can get a lot closer than you can in the big leagues, and the clubhouse is out there on the concourse sometimes or in the corner. So we would just get there early before the games and wait down there in the first or second row along wherever the players would be coming in from. And we just try and stop each player as they were coming in and explain like, oh, we're filming a YouTube video. Can we ask you one or two quick questions? And yeah, we just riff them really quickly. Most of the players were pretty friendly and be like, yeah, sure, I'll do it real quickly. Looking back on those videos, it's so tough to watch sometimes, like without the microphones or anything, because like we can barely hear what the players are saying, and we just pop up like a caption for 1 second. We're like, they didn't even really get an answer from it. But yeah, it's cool. Like that's just pretty much how it got started. And a couple of teams saw that and offered us media credentials to come back during the season and do it in a larger quantity, or I guess on a bigger scale.
Yeah, and I just think how cool the players were to us was such a big factor in like motivating us to keep going, because like I feel like looking back, it was such a random thing to try to get an interview on a Wednesday day game in August, like right before the game. But so many players were so cool to us, would follow us back on Instagram right after the game, take time to like talk with us, like ask about life. And it was just the coolest thing ever. And made us realize like, I don't know, just how many players are such cool people.
Any favorite like moments, or maybe it's just, I mean, it's minor leagues, right? So like crazy stuff could be happening, when you're going down there. I know even just when he goes, like he's playing rock, paper, scissors with the bullpen guys for like autographs and balls, and like it's a different level of baseball because like you said, there's more access there. Some of them are more open. Some of them are not. Like some of them are laser focused. Like, but just anything that you just remember, like maybe you asked a question and just threw somebody off, or just somebody completely blew you off, or just I'm just trying to like jog that memory of anything fun that happened during those early days.
Game used bat.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too. Yeah, in Aberdeen, Maryland, we went to a game. It got like canceled in like the fourth or fifth inning because of one loud like boom of thunder. We didn't see any rain, but it started raining soon after. But yeah, like the players were just coming off, and catcher for the Ironbirds, Matt Canley, who just made it to the big leagues this season with the O's, right? Yeah, just made his debut this year. He like broke a bat and was coming off, and asked the two of us and another fan like guess a number between 1 and 100. That got closest to it, so that was pretty cool. I remember when we went to Harrisburg too. Like that was just a really fun day, and like the post game afterwards, like the rain was starting to come in, and they were doing the fireworks at the same time. And we asked like Aaron Barrett if we could ask him a question really quickly. He's like, I just want to get in real quickly and avoid the rain. And like Disney drive and hope for like 2 hours in the rain after that. And we were like, yeah, I don't really blame him. But yeah, there were some crazy road trips, and yeah, when it started in 2021, it was just like, what stadiums could we drive to along the East Coast? Like we always loved visiting a new ballpark, and we always knew, I think, that there were like a lot around us, but just finally had like the free time because of COVID and our summer before going into college. Like we kind of scoped it out, and we were like, yo, we need to like check out these ballparks next summer when we're back from classes.
What a cool experience.
What was the first team to say like, hey, do you want to come on the field and do interviews?
I think it was the Salem
Red Sox.
Yeah.
Yeah, they DM'd us on TikTok.
Mm-hmm. And then they told us to like, oh, if you want to come down and use the field, like for some of your skits, because we were still doing a lot of that at the time, you can do that. And we like drove down in the middle of the winter and did that. And they mentioned it, and they were like, oh yeah, like you definitely need to come back during the regular season and like ask some of the questions that you're doing before the game. And the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs from the Atlantic League also reached out, like saw that, and they were a little bit closer to us. And they're also like, you should do some interviews once the games roll back up. So those are the first two.
Yeah, Salem was a 4-hour
drive.
drive.
I was going to say, that was so big. They were just like, yeah, if you want to use this for some of your skits. And we were like, oh, that'd be huge. Just to have like the open bleachers and like a really nice looking field in the background. So we like booked it right away.
What's your prep process like today? How do you prepare for a big interview with the Mookie Betts or Shohei Ohtani, or any big leaguers or cool guests?
We we kind of look at the matchups that we have, or like the matchup that we're about to attend. And Liam likes to put on a lot of podcasts and YouTube videos, I know, like of interviews with the players on the teams that we're getting ready to go and watch. But on the day of, I think a lot of it is kind of just like scoping out what the scene looks like out on the field. And once the guy comes out, you kind of just have to keep close eyes on them, but also not be, too hounding, kind of just introduce yourself first and see if they'll have free time later on. But yeah, a lot of it is kind of just, paying a lot of attention on game day and making sure you don't lose them.
Yeah. And we always check transactions because a guy could get called up. It's announced 30 minutes before the game, which is insane. Like we've witnessed transactions that haven't been announced yet, like go down. Like, I thought that guy was in AAA.
Billy Hamilton.
Oh yeah,
that was the best one. We were outside of the Nats parking lot once, like waiting for players to arrive, and Billy Hamilton showed up for the Mets, I think.
Yeah, and he had just gotten traded
from the Giants, and there was someone for the Nats was like pushing in Giants bags, and we were like scoping both transactions. We're like, no one's making with the Giants, and
yeah. But I'll check guys' Instagrams too to see what kind of stuff they like posting about. And then in terms of like trying to set it up, we've met a couple agents who like have offered to help set up interviews with their clients, the players that they know. And we try to DM guys on Instagram as much as we can too. Yeah, that just paid off with Brian Bayo this past weekend.
Is the the team, like, let's say you're in Arizona, you're going to a Diamondbacks game, like, does the team PR communications team, like, even know who you are or that you're coming or that you're on the field or you're just another name with a press pass, like going to the game? Like, is there any help from them of like, hey, like, here's what's going down, what's happening? Or is it just like, cool, good luck, have fun?
Yeah, it kind of varies team by team. The D-backs are actually like one of the better teams. Like they send out a full schedule the day before of like what the media agenda is looking like when guys are doing formal press conferences, like managerial ones, which of course isn't kind of what we're targeting. But it says when they're taking batting practice, which is extremely helpful for us. But yeah, we have to email and reach out to the teams beforehand, let them know that we're going to be there. So they know that we're going to be there. Yeah, most teams are, kind of just like give us the passes and tell us, good luck, be respectful. Don't, bother guys during their routine and stuff. But for the most part, it's on us to set up the interviews.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm trying to think. There have been a few times where like teams have helped us out before with like facilitating. I think spring training is the time when guys have a little bit more time and freedom too, where they can make that happen.
Yeah, and it's all team by team with how willing they are to help set up interviews. Like some teams are just like, no, but like they're not going to set anything up, but you're free to ask anyone you want. Like that was the case with the Red Sox this past weekend.
What's your filming setup for short form content, and is your long form setup any different?
I mean, we use the Sony ZV-1 for our short form stuff and the Sony A7 for our long form. That's been a pretty good system this year.
Yeah, we use a tripod for the short form content to try and, keep it still for a viewer, but like have like a handheld sort of tripod for our long form camera. So we're able to move around with it more. But yeah, I'd say the setup isn't super different. We just got new mics, like we got DJI mics, but have been using Rode mics for a long time, but have been, experimenting with them both a little bit. I think the process for YouTube is a little bit more just like having a script written out of like what that video looks like and what we're going to be doing in it. In short form, it's just like, okay, it's these questions like very, we want to ask it this way.
So you're showing up to D-backs game. It's literally tripod, Sony camera, lav mics, go, right? Like just trying to stay light, stay portable, you don't want to be in the way. You don't want to be carrying a lot of stuff, but you want to be able to set up quick because I'm assuming it's like, hey, let's go, like right now, like he's ready to go. So you got to be able to set up in seconds and be ready to go. So keeping that setup light's got to be super important for you guys.
Definitely. Yeah. There's been some crazy like arrivals and we're like, yo, we need to set up immediately. Like we get there like 4.5 hours before a game. We're not expecting anything to go on. And Fernando Tatis is out taking early batting practice. And you're like, oh, I got to set up immediately.
Yeah. Then you have to like small talk the player to like stall.
It's awesome.
Like you're like setting up the tripod. You're like,
We're going. I promise. We'll be ready in a second. I promise.
yeah.
And then what about your editing process?
So we have an editor who does a couple short form videos for us every month, but right now it's mostly just us, which is very time consuming.
Yeah, we've also had some help from one of Liam's friends. I also known to, I guess, our friends, but one of Liam's close friends from high school and middle school growing up that had some experience like doing editing for Virginia Tech's sporting accounts, and he's helped us out on the YouTube side a little bit with some of those videos. But yeah, it's all pretty much just been self-taught. I went to school for media art and design, so I was fortunate enough to have like a few classes that applied Adobe stuff. But we use Premiere Pro. We started out on iMovie, and I think after like 2 years of that, we realized it's just not allowing us to do certain things that we want to be able to do. We're asking each other like, "Have you figured out how to do that?" We're like, "Yeah, I just don't think iMovie does that."
It's a good upgrade from iMovie, man. I remember those days, like actually editing like music videos on like iMovie on an old MacBook. I mean, this is like 12, 13 years ago. It's wild. But I want to talk about what the business actually looks like today. So you're obviously still traveling a ton. You're on the road. You're still going to a bunch of MLB games. You're doing short form, long form. Like, what does the actual like business behind this look like? Is it ad driven? Is it sponsor driven? Is it like, what does that look like? What do you guys say yes to? What do you guys say no to now? As far as like requests, just love a little like behind the scenes baseball here of like, what does this actually look like? And how do the Bat Boys continue to ensure that you guys make content for a really long time?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, so we're always targeting the big events. That's where the most brand opportunities will come for us. Most will come, like the All-Star game, for example, is always like really cool. We're able to work with a couple different brands, and they're all in like the same area. Being in Arizona now logistically is going to be a lot easier than California, just in terms of travel. And there's like stuff like the draft combine is here, spring training, obviously, and all that brings. But there's no like general rule, I guess, for what like brand opportunities we'll pursue. We always try to consider like what the MLB season is doing at the time, if it's not something MLB, because that's kind of our main focus. And yeah, just looking for like stuff like Omaha, College World Series, big baseball things.
Yeah. I think it's definitely more like you said, like the bigger events, like that's when we can get more sponsorship opportunities. And that's pretty much what it is right now, more than AdSense. But there definitely is a little bit of ad revenue coming into, and we're trying to grow that in the future. And just like partners that the MLB works with, whenever they come and say, "Hey, we have something for you," where, the opportunity is like to be able to do an interview with an MLB player and just, work with the brand at the same time. It's a match made in heaven for us.
Last time we talked, you gave us advice on how to land bigger interviews and get on the field. Let's turn this into a coaching session. If you were us, how'd you start making relationships with UCF, Daytona Tortugas, or the Rays to create content and interview the players?
What was the middle team?
Yeah, we have the Tortugas, like the single A Reds team that's like down the street from us.
Because I was going to say, I think I would target them in UCF because they will love having the coverage, and the Rays too. But I would say email people in their communications office.
Yeah, you should be able to look that up on the website. That's what we did for every minor league team when we were first starting. Just like what's the word for the email? Title it?
The email address?
The subject line?
Subject of the email.
Oh, yeah.
Subject of the email, like media credentials for Bat Boys Baseball is what we did. And then just explain who you are, what you hope to do. And I mean, everyone would get back to me within a couple days with the minor league teams. And I guess you just kind of work it out from there.
Yeah, keep with that consistently. When you get there in person, shake people in the hand and look them in the eye, and just express to them how excited you are for the opportunity, to be there, to be covering their team and sharing the story of their season or the stories of their players. And just try and build a relationship with the players right there on the first day, introduce yourself and thank them for taking the time to answer some questions, and keep showing up and build the stories.
Was there and I know there's never a magic answer to this, but like, was there a magic question or like hey, like this is what we want to do that got them to say yes over other things that you were trying to do? So for context, like we have hit up the Tortugas and we keep getting we're too busy, we don't have time to add you guys to our media list, right? Like I've gotten that 4 times this year and I'm just like, dude, like, come on, man. Like we're doing this for like bigger teams than you. But no disrespect to the Tortugas if you're listening, you guys are awesome. But like, what's the ask that makes them go like, you know what? We really want you to come out.
I mean, one thing we always talk about is just like how we want it to be mutually beneficial for us and for the team and for the players, and explain, like the whole reason that we're there is to paint the players in a good light and to paint that team in a good light. And we're not going to be dishonest with what we see, but we're there to help promote the players and promote the team. And that if they give us this opportunity, their players and their team is going to get more exposure because of it.
Yeah, and all the cold like intro emails that I would send, I'd include examples of previous work, like a video that would kind of apply to what we were wanting to do with that team. And then I'd also just mention the views. Like, I feel like it does leave an impression to say like 50,000 people viewed this video. And we didn't even have credentials. We were just asking players questions as fans last year. Are we able to do it with credentials this year? That's like how it worked for the Bowie Bay Sox for us.
The good news is we're on the right track. We just got to get them to say yes. So I like that. Great answer. The good news in your answer, and for everybody who's listening too, is like, there isn't a magic answer, right? It's like, how can you add value to everybody? The value to us should be the least, right? Like, how can we add the most value to the players, to the team, to the community, whatever it is? And then yeah, we obviously benefit from it as well. But love that advice.
You've got over 50 videos with over 1 million views on TikTok. First, that's insane and congrats. But what have you learned that makes the difference between a video that pops like that or one that maybe only gets like 50 or 100K views?
There's some that you're like, oh, I didn't even, realize or expect that one to take off in the way that it did. But there are other ones too that were like, that only got 1 million views because we posted it when we did. Stuff like the reaction to Freddie Freeman's World Series home run, like walk-off. That was something that as soon as it happened, we were like, oh, we need to, get this up immediately. It's all that people are going to be talking about in the sports world for the next 24 hours. I think like just the more players and the bigger names that we have, like in a compilation of answers, usually is what makes it pop. Like, I just like when we can get like half of a team to answer one question all at once, that usually does well.
It does seem so random though sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll be like so excited about posting a video. Like I remember that might have been 2 years ago now, but the Jose Ramirez fight, I posted our Jose Ramirez interview like right after that fight had happened. And I was like, oh, this is going to blow up. And it got like 300, 400K views, which is still awesome. But I was like, man, I thought that was going to get millions.
It's so funny because like there's got to be some, like whenever we've done videos with like Max Clark in it, right? Like those blow up, right? Because he's obviously superstar on the minor league level. He was here in Lakeland for a while. Like I'm sure same for you. Like one of your Mookie videos has like, 5-6 million views. I think it was on Instagram. And like the show, like you almost expect those big name ones to go well, but then you guys have so many other ones with like guys people have never heard of. And so like you said, it might be the timing, the guy just got called up. So he's trending at the moment. Maybe it was a moment that happened. There's still, not that it's luck, but there's still so many other X factors that like go into it sometimes that, I mean, it's you're not the only ones. Like everyone that we interview, we ask basically a version of the same question. And they're just like, I don't know. I just woke up one day and it had a bunch of views, and it's crazy when the algorithm, helps you out like that.
Yeah. I mean, I do like to think a lot of like the real like huge banger videos are the product of like previous relationships with that player. like the fact that we've known Juan Soto for 3 years makes our Juan Soto interviews so much better than the average Soto interview would be, I think. And I'm trying to think of, I remember with Wander Suero at the AAA championship last year, like we just went for so long naming Dominican artists that I was just like, this is.
He knew as soon as he finished filming, I was like, that was over 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Just one question.
This is going to go so, and it did. Yeah. Like I feel like we have a good sense of like when a guy will say something like so funny, we know the comments are going to go crazy about it. That's sometimes a good indicator.
We got to talk about the ETS Content House real quick. RIP Content House. What are some of your favorite moments being in the house with the guys?
For me, one of my favorite early ones was filming the Christmas video, just because Leo put a lot of work into getting like a bunch of brands to send stuff out, and we were able to, have like our own little remote Christmas, even though we were away from family in the days leading up to it. And then obviously, I think most of us were back home with our families for Christmas, but that was a really fun one. And one that I don't know if it's ever going to get out because our editor kind of just failed in the middle of it was a wiffle ball video we did. Like we set up a field in our backyard, and that was such a fun day. Like just building a stadium out of nothing was really cool. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff too, just like that wasn't content related. I remember like in the middle of the fires, which, it's sad to bring up, but like we planned a bowling night for like a week or a couple of weeks. And like the first night of that was when the bowling night was going on. And we still went out and went bowling just like right up the street from our house, but at the same time, kind of ready to peel back home if we needed to at any moment. But that was a fun time too.
Yeah. And I just think being able to learn from each other, like it's so cool to be living in a house with people also doing content. Like Eric and I had never had that. Like in college, all our friends are business majors, and off like doing real jobs now. But like being able to walk up to Dan's room and ask his opinion on a video, and then walk over to Gabe's room and ask his opinion on a video, and be able to brainstorm with like-minded people. I think that was the coolest thing.
Yeah. Especially leading up to like events. If we knew we were all going to be there, somebody was just like, hey, what do you eat for it? What do you think would make sense for me? Something that works for, might have like a good idea, but be like, hey, Gabe should try that, or Dan could try that. And can go the other way.
Love that. Well, we got one more for you, then a couple quick rapid fires, and we'll get out of here.
If you had unlimited budget to create content and grow the Bat Boys, what would you spend it on?
I'd make a massive Cooperstown type facility in Dominican Republic and have a private airport and fly to 30 cities in 30 days.
I think that's one of my biggest things. I've always wanted to do 30 games in 30 days, but I don't think you could do that without just like leaving some games early or having to do like 2 in one day. But yeah, I agree with like, I've always wanted to be able to like build fields one day or like open a giant baseball facility in a place where they need them most. And yeah, I think that would make for some really cool content too. I think like if I had unlimited money though, we'd probably just be buying some really nice cameras, some nice studio equipment too. All the editing packages and subscriptions that we do, all those services.
Heck yeah. I would just hire the editors. Let them deal with it. I do want to piggyback on that real quick is like the DR stuff. Like you guys do a ton. You've got a bunch of videos there. I know you have like a connection there. Like what's the DR connection?
When we were going to a bunch of minor league games when we were in elementary school. Yeah. This is Pedro Severino. It was a Potomac Nationals camp in 2014, and there were the Nats prospects were player coaches, and all the kids gravitated towards the American coaches. And not a lot of kids were talking to the Latino guys because they didn't speak much English. And Eric and I like befriended Pedro, befriended some of the other guys there, and then followed them on Instagram, and then like talked back and forth on Instagram. They were like, they just post so much random funny stuff. It kind of put us onto DR culture, and like that just sparked the interest for it just being like Latino culture is such a cool aspect of baseball that makes it so unique. And the dynamic of coming from Latin America to grind through the minor leagues in the US. And then you're the next Juan Soto. Like, that's such a crazy story that these guys are on. And yeah, to be able to share their stories and show how fun the culture is what we try to do.
So cool. I was, this is probably a decade ago or so. If Colt Ducks will show stuff in so I got an Emmy, fun one there, from a movie I filmed in the DR. And so you can come back now. But it was a movie, a documentary filmed in the DR for women they were giving microloans to women to start businesses, to like get generational poverty, like to, all that. But one of the days we literally just played stickball in the streets with kids with, the cardboard hand gloves and just like, and these kids they were ripped, man. Like they were so good. And just, yeah, man, I love, that you're shining a light over there and like what people are doing. But the organization was started by Dave Volley, who's actually the play-by-play guy for the Mariners. He's on MLB Network. And he was going to play winter ball in the DR. And after the game, like little kids would run up to him and he thought they wanted his autograph because that's what kids do here in the US, but they really wanted food. And he left the winter ball season and he was like, so I bought him a chicken or some burgers or whatever, but like they still need burgers tomorrow night and the next night and the next night. And so he ended up starting this organization called Esperanza. And I think they've done $150 million in loans, like over the last like 15 years, 20 years. Like, it's cool, the baseball connection to the culture. And like, yeah, I'm a big fan of everything that's going down in DR. And the more like what you guys are doing, like to help them and shine lights on them and tell their story, I think it's super, super powerful.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's do some rapid fire. Let's wrap this thing up. First thing that comes to mind, we'll let each of you guys, answer each one. You ready?
Yep. What's the best advice you've gotten to help you grow the Bat Boys and create content?
I can't think of who specifically has said it, but just like keep going or be consistent just really hits and resonates with me.
Yeah.
Like whenever like we'll finish an interview with a player and the player's like, yo, love your stuff, keep going. That's just like the coolest motivation in the world because I mean, yeah, it's something simple, keep going, but it just encapsulates the day-to-day grind and consistency that they go through too. And that just like in general in life, the consistency leads to success.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it advice, but yeah, just like when people tell us like, oh, keep going. Like I saw that on my Instagram feed last night. Like I love that. I'm excited to see this one. That's just like the best advice we get to keep moving forward.
Who's your dream interview guest?
Ooh.
Doesn't have to be baseball.
Okay, I was gonna ask that. I think it's still probably Paul Skeens right now for me, just because we've never talked to him.
Aaron Judge or Drake or Bad Bunny. No, Bad Bunny.
Yeah, you can't say El Alfa because you interviewed El Alfa too.
Yeah, Bad Bunny.
Nice.
I'd break the internet.
Yeah. You guys had some like boxing ones I was researching that were like did really well, like millions of views. I was like, dang, like I didn't know you guys went hard like that. Like those were fun.
Yeah, Gervonta Davis and Mike Tyson. Got after that.
So it was a good time when we get some boxing coverage. Enjoy it.
I interviewed Jake Paul like 12 years ago for a reality show that I did, and then I hit him up like during the Mike Tyson fight because it was over here, and I was like, "Yo, tickets," and no reply, but still, it was worth a shot.
What's the most awkward moment, either in creating content or in an interview?
I think for me, it was probably when I called Jesse Winkler. And he called me out on it immediately. I was like, I don't think you were there. Mo was behind me.
Yeah.
I was like, we're here with Jesse Winkler. And I asked him the question, whoever I think favorite pregame meal or something. And he was like, did you say Winkler? It's Winker. And I was so embarrassed. I felt so bad about it too. I told him, I was like, I can read it real quickly. He's like, no, let's just roll with it. And he answered the question. I was like, I can like do the introduction again if you want me to. He's like, no, man, you got to take it off the chin. Got to live with that. Yeah, that one always sticks up for me.
Yeah, I think like this has happened a couple times, but I know this year in April, we sometimes ask guys to guess their career home runs or career numbers. I asked Harold Chapman to guess his career strikeouts. And I like go to open my notes app where I had them all written down and I just didn't have his written down. And like the service was bad, so I couldn't like look it up real quick. And I was just like, oh, sorry, bro. He just guessed like 1,300, and I think it was around that. But yeah, we just cut that out and post edit.
Who hasn't said yes, giving you guys media credentials that you wish they did?
I wish the Phillies would let us come to Citizens Bank Park.
And the Braves.
Yeah, we haven't asked in a long time.
And the Yankees.
I think since 22 was when we asked the Phillies, like the one time we asked to go to Citizens Bank. So hopefully we can go to the All-Star game next year. I would love to go do some work there.
You've done a lot of stuff in the Dominican. What other countries are on your list travel to and create baseball content?
Curacao. And Aruba.
In Korea.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, good one.
Either.
I've never been to
You got to do Japan, but I got to go to Japan once. That was so cool, and I'd go back anytime. But I definitely want to check out the KBO someday too.
What advice do you have for me to get better at interviewing people and being more confident on camera?
I think being more confident on camera just comes with the practice. Like, it's really silly, but people say just practice, like, even when there is no camera on or there's no one in the room, just pretend that you're speaking for a YouTube video or speaking for an interview and go through the questions. Yeah, I think like with practice and with time, it sort of just comes more naturally, and the more experience that you have, you get more comfortable doing it.
Yeah. I'm thinking like in the moment, when you first introduce yourself to a guy, like I always just think of something to talk about before the interview even starts. Like, yeah, that chain is fire, bro. Or like, where'd you get that bracelet? Or what shoes are those? Just to kind of lighten the mood and show that you're cool and aren't trying to ask them anything crazy. Like, these are all like good vibes questions.
I like that. How last one, how often do people call you the Bat Bros?
Oh, pretty often. Yeah.
Probably a third of the people who recognize it.
Yeah. I don't really mind it though. I'm sure like when we were trying to think of a name at the start, we probably thought like, oh, Bat Bros would be great, but it was taken. So
Bad Boys.
And now we met Will and been up there and seen the fields, and it's just it's crazy how like small the baseball world is, and the fact that we cross paths and we have the same manager as them now. So
oh, that's funny.
We love working with JT, but yeah, I think it's pretty often.
Yeah, we should collab with.
Yeah, we should.
That would just confuse everybody. We'll make sure we link up the Bat Boys everywhere in the description, all that fun stuff. Any other fun projects, any things you guys got going on you want to plug before we head out of here? But we'll make sure, obviously, send everybody to YouTube, send them to TikTok, send them to Instagram, check out the content. Just anything else before we sign off today?
Yeah, the YouTube videos are going to go crazy, especially in the off season. We're planning some stuff with guys off the field.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that.
Stay tuned through the rest of the regular season, and in the postseason, we'll be traveling around, kind of flirting around with maybe going up to Toronto. We've never been before. I don't know if we want our first time for a playoff game, but that would be pretty exciting. But we'll be somewhere for playoff coverage and keep it rolling through the off season. There's going to be some really fun stuff there too.
Love that. Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time to do this. Until we meet again in person, man, this was super fun, and wish you nothing but the best.
Yeah, thank you guys. That was awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, keep going.
Yep, thank you.